Okay. Well, thank you, Seth, for the warm introduction, and thank you, Kun Manop, Kun Ithinan, for joining us today. So it's my privilege to hear your view on the virtual banking. So maybe we start from looking back to the overseas lessons. Okay, it's true that a few virtual banks worldwide, like Kakao in Korea, Starling in the UK, and WeBank in China, have managed to become profitable. However, their receipt is quite small compared to the banks. So I start with you, Kun Manop. Given your consortium include Kakao and WeBank that have cited become a rare success stories, and given Thailand has moved toward free online banking platforms, so how will you the lesson from this market being most relevant here, and where do you see your greatest impact for the country? Right.
Thank you, Kap. First of all, I'm very pleased to be here to meet you all to share our thinking behind the virtual banking business, which we believe to be the business for the future, not only for Thailand but and also for the SCBX group. Before I try to address your questions, the thinking behind why SCBX group apply for virtual bank license. We believe that while mobile banking penetration is already quite high in Thailand, but still we have quite a large underbanked or underserved populations. So high mobile banking penetration doesn't mean that we already will serve our customers. So there's no doubt that the market is still there, and I believe should be large enough for the three of us, the three virtual bank, to be doing really well. So we are quite looking forward to it. But we realize that, and everyone already know that there are not many success cases for digital banks in the world and in the region. And that's why SCBX Group has been quite strategic and specific about who we want to work with on the long-term basis as our partners in this new venture, new journey for us. So Kakao Bank and WeBank are one of the more profitable, and if not most profitable, digital banks and more successful in Asia. So we are very pleased to have the opportunity to work with them in this venture. The lessons that we have learned from both of them to be successful in digital bank business is, first of all, the products have to be innovative. The user experience must be user-friendly and very hyper-personalized, to the extent that it will create, you have to make customers feel overwhelmed with the products that you are offering. It will have to be very different from the ways mobile banking apps have been serving or offering to our customers. And secondly, the new bank will have to be AI native from front to back office. The technology that we will deploy must be AI native, which is quite different. You know, many banks have been talking about, including SCB Bank. We are trying to adjust or transform ourselves to be AI first or AI native bank. But it is not easy because of the legacy system, the legacy issues that came with the incumbent bank. And that's why we believe that when we have the opportunity to start a new bank with fresh ideas, with AI native team, and also strategy from the beginning, that will make a big difference. One thing that we have to really emphasize with all of this new products, innovative products, AI native technology, we have to make sure that the cost to serve will have to be lower than our current cost structure. SCBX has a CI ratio of around 40%. SCB Bank has a CI ratio of under 40%. I think the latest quarter, the number was around 38-39%, which is already quite good when we compare with the regional peers. But we want to make sure that our new virtual bank will have a cost to serve and cost income ratio much lower than that. For example, Kakao Bank, the CI ratio has been around early 30s. WeBank, I believe the latest number that I looked at is a little bit below 30%. And I think they have planned to go even lower than that. So we want to make sure that the cost to serve, the CI ratio for the new bank has to be very, very competitive. Otherwise, we will not survive in this game.
Thank you ค่ะคุณทินันครับ Talking about AI native, I believe that Ascent Money actually bring in strong fintech capability to True Money, right? So how you plan to leverage this ecosystem to shape your virtual bank strategy?
Okay, thank you. At Ascent Money, right? So we see that virtual bank is like a big milestone. Is our next step that bring us to giving the complete financial journey to our customer, right? Our strength is actually combining the True Money user, True Money infrastructure that we serve over 30 million users every day. That come together with a broad of our partnership, not limited to just CP and I think that is very important for us, right? Because our strategy is really simple that make banking as a part of customer daily life. So that's why the partnership is very important. Because to understand the customer insight and customer behavior, right? Partnership is play important role on that one. We can understand the behavior of customer. We can embedding our banking product or the financial product to offer the customer with their feel this burden for them. That is the thing that we looking for. And I think that the three impact that's we quite impressed for the virtual banking is first, we will see the more inclusive or more flexible credit product that we think that we're going to see. That through the using all the credit scoring, all the data, that in the main target for like a gig worker, underserved segment or the informal worker, something like that. That I think that authoritative data is very important to in part of this. Second thing, we will see fully digital and mobile first offering to the customer. That is the thing that we see that especially it's going to be like easy to access, simple and trustworthy. That's one is very important, especially the one that who come through the formal banking system in the first time. That is very important. The third thing that we think that we're going to see that it's just not only the credit. We will see the offering is beyond the credit through the saving product, investment product, or even a protection. That we will see the product is will tailor more and customize to the like each segmentation. It's not just like a product off the shelf that to the offer to everyone is same thing. But we will see more on the payer will use the data-driven offering to the customer. That's the thing that we see. And I think that's all combined together. That's what's going to create a big impact and it's our strength that we will offer to the customer.
Thank you. And I have the follow-up question for both of you. So that brings us to another critical issue, which is trust. Given that the customer are asked to move saving into a full digital bank, and this is also a big leap for many customers. So actually, what will be the toughest challenge in earning customer confidence, and how do you plan to address it? So maybe I start with you, Khun Manop.
Well, virtual banks are regulated entity. The regulations are the same as the incumbent banks. So I think in terms of trust, I don't see this will be a critical issues for our target customers.
But given the Bank of Thailand may not allow you to use the same logo or same format that may link to the original bank, right? So how you can make sure that the trust will be the same as your original customers?
I think customers know which bank, which new banks belong to which group. I think the three group who are awarded the license are all reputable businesses in the country, and I don't think it will be that difficult to earn the trust from the customers. I think it's more important to think about how to gain and attract customers with the right products.
And how about you, Kun Ithinan?
I think for us, right, I think the trust is everything for the banking. I think it's very important, right? So to ask the customer to move their money to the virtual bank which is no branch, I think is very important. It's not just like you deliver the best technology or the best convenience for the customer. It's more than that. It's not just the convenience, but I think customer need the real confidence for them to move the money to you, right? So I think that we best for us we plan to build the trust with our four pillars. First is about transparency. That is very important for a customer. That to offer the product and the thing that to the customer is transparent. Customer can easily understand that hey, what is the product for, and what is the term condition, what is the thing that they are taking. Second is our proven record, right? Track record from the True Money that we already serve customer over the 30 million users. That's thing we will leverage our expertise and our system that our know-how to serve the customer. The third thing I think is a humanized digital support. Even we offer the customer through everything digital, right? But it's very important that if customer need, we will support them with meaningful support that customer to ensure that even we service them via digital channel, but they can get the support once they require. And the third thing, we will build the protection in every layer. It means it's in terms of like a data security, in terms of the PDPA, that is very important that we build trust. I think all combined together, right? That's the thing that we offer the customer, that's the real value and real meaningful service to customer. That's the thing that we can build the trust step by step.
Okay. And the next one go to Kun Manop. Given that SCB has strong digital financing capabilities already, how do you see virtual bank go further and expand beyond what you are already offering?
SCB mobile banking app currently has over 18 million customers already. But as I mentioned, they are mainly doing normal transactions. It doesn't mean that they have access to the financial needs that they would like to have. So that's what I mean by we still see lots of opportunity. But let me perhaps make some contrast between the current banking app that we have vis-a-vis the new offering that we are thinking about to offer to the market. Most banks, including SCB Bank, think of mobile banking app as a channel, as a digital channel on top of the physical channels that we have. So it turns out to be that the mobile banking apps that we have are quite product-driven as opposed to customer-driven. The interface is quite static. I'm sure if you're using most of the apps, if you want to look for one product, you have to go to many layers of menu to look for the products that you like. So the apps is not personalized. So that's what we want to change. The question is that, when we know this, when we realize that this is the problems and issues to serve our customers better, why don't we just change our app? It comes down to legacy issues, a legacy system that we have, that we are inherited as an incumbent. So we believe that with the collaboration with world-class partners, Kakao Bank and WeBank, together with our experience in the Thai market, our understanding of the regulatory environment, we believe that we will be able to offer new products, new service, new customers that will overwhelm our customers.
Thank you, Ka. And you just mentioned that your customer base includes small merchants, gig workers, and also many bank individuals. So with the virtual bank, how do you plan to serve them better while also supporting the long-term financial inclusions in Thailand?
Okay. I think that's one is a good question. I think for to provide a financial inclusion, it's just not like giving them to open a bank account, right? So I think that we should offer or service them with the product that they need. That is a very important and key important for us. For example, for the credit. For the credit, right? So like an underserved segment like a gig worker, irregular income, or the small merchant, right? They cannot get the loan from the traditional system, not because they are bad or the high risk, but maybe the system or traditional system is not developed or the built for them. They just don't have like a pay slip or don't have the credit history. It doesn't mean that they have no discipline. That is a thing that we see. What we do, right? So we use all the data, we use the big data come together with our AI's credit score to underwrite and offer them the credit line to them. Actually, what we offer is not just like a big credit line for the customer. Maybe it's just small credit line for them to enough to prove themselves, and then we can unlock more feature later. That's the thing that we do. What we see in our example that we as Nano offer the loan, right? We see the small street food vendor, right? So actually they had they need to buy the ingredient to sell every day, right? So that's the thing that one day sell the product and then they use that money to buy or restock to sell tomorrow. That is a thing that we see. But once they have the emergency need or even their children get sick, that go to school, go to the hospital, they don't have the money to do it. But if they use the money to bring of course they have to bring their child to the hospital, but they have no money more to restock. That's the thing that we see. Actually, they don't need the big money or a large loan amount. They just got the small credit line that enough for them to run the business. That's the thing that we see. Apart from the credit, I think virtual bank is not just for the lending, but we see we can build the deposit that tailor and customize that to refit to the customer needs. And that is a thing that we will do.
Right, maybe I have a follow-up question for you first. Given you have started up the Nano financing already, and how do you see virtual bank help you to scale this inclusive lending? I mean, in a bigger way than what you are doing now. How you can scale all the Nano financing that you have under just two money, right? With the virtual bank license, how big of the business that maybe you expect to see?
Okay, I think the thing that we do virtual banking, right? Of course, we will leverage the true money infrastructure that what we have, right? And then we will our strategy is to make it simple for the customer, right? We will work closely with the true money, but of course that is independent of infrastructure based on the regulation. What we do, we will learn from the true money know-how on how to understand the customer, how to embed the offering to the customer. That is the thing that we do, right? So, and what, for example, that we can buy with the true money, for example, that true money that we have the strong network of the payment and strong network of small merchant. If we see that, hey, merchant that listen the money and we see that they have the consent-free behavior, so they can convert the money to the credit for them. That is a thing that I think we can do.
Right. And we also have seen the banks investing heavily in digital transformation. How do you see yourself competing head-on with them? Or do you expect area for collaborations? Khun Manop ka.
We discussed earlier that the offering by virtual banks will have to be very, very different from traditional banks with a much lower cost structure. So we believe that it is a new market segment altogether. The first group of customers that we want to focus on would be the underserved populations, because after all, these licenses, the rationale for granting these licenses from the Bank of Thailand is to have a better financial inclusion for the country. And this group of customers have not been adequately served by the traditional banks. It is true that there are quite a number of non-banking financial institutions who are servicing these customers already. But I believe that with the proper virtual banks, the level of service or the level of financial inclusion will be much better than before. So in a way, we believe that we are not competing head-on with traditional banks on the lending side. There could be some competition on the funding side because we all have to compete for a deposit. Maybe deposit cost could be a little bit higher than traditional banks, but with the CI ratio that would be much lower than traditional banks. We would remain very competitive. But the other thing that I would like to highlight is that it all comes down to what extent the regulator allow virtual banks to price their products. Are we talking about the real risk-based pricing or the pricing caps or the interest rate caps that we are seeing right now in the market? But in any case, I believe that the returns by the virtual banks at the mature stage of the business scale, after scaling up the business, now would be much higher than traditional banks. Most of the banks are generating less than 1% ROA, and the ROE are also well below 10%.
And the same question to you, Kun Ithinan.
Okay. I think it's not like a zero-sum game, right? So I totally agree with Kun Manop that I think the collaboration is not just about that it's impossible or not, but I think it's essential that traditional bank and virtual bank need to work together in this way, right? I think traditional bank maybe many things that can bring to the table, such as like capital that Kun Manop just mentioned, coverage of service, full service that they offer, or coverage of branch that is still important for some segment of customer. For the digital bank, what we bring, right, is like digital native, right? We bring the personalized data driven to the customer. We bring the reach to the underserved segment. That's the thing that the virtual bank can bring. I think of course, it's maybe somewhat segmented overlap, but I think if we can work together, I think it's very, very meaningful for the system. For example, I think we can work together in various ways, right? For example, that maybe in terms of like a co-lending, for example, or even we do like data sharing in the concept of the Bank of Thailand on the open banking data, that we can share data together, that we can offer customer the fit service to the customer. I think that's a thing that we can work together. I think virtual bank that's come into the system is just not for the compete or replace any bank. What we come to reshape the financial service that is more accessible to the system.
Thank you, Ka. And of course, none of this can be possible without the right technology foundation. So let me start with you. Given your partner expertise, what do you see as a signature technology or feature of your virtual bank?
Certainly, the technology that we will adopt must be AI native. Sorry, it must be cloud-based, native cloud. And we will be looking to leverage our partners' expertise to build the core banking system on our own. And this is how we want to keep our cost to serve low.
Okay, and for Kun Ithinan, the asset money ecosystem span payments, retail and online services. How do you plan to integrate virtual bank into this daily ecosystem to make sure that you become part of customer everyday life?
Okay. I think our goal is not just like a thing that virtual bank is just another application that for the customer to remember, right? So the thing that we would like to do, we would like to embed the service into the customers in every moment of the customer use, right? For example, that for the True Money that now we serve the customer over 30 million users that they use our application for spending, or we see their behavior to how they spend, how they deposits are to save, how to invest. That's the thing that we see from the customer behavior. The thing that we will do, right? We will integrate those system or the banking service to the customer step, right? Let's give you some example that one customer used the wallet to pay the rent. We have some notes to the customer that, hey, don't spend too much. You should save some or something like that. Or they use our wallet or application for the as a merchant, right? They use for the receive money from their customer. When they receive the money, they can convert those to the capital to the credit line for them that they can use capital or credit line for their business. That's the thing that we expect that we will see, right? So I think that if you embed the finance into the customer at the right time, at the right product, right? So that's one is to customer is just not a burden for the customer that need to apply the banking service. They will feel that is the thing that we offer to the customer is support. So that if how we think that if we leverage and we integrate.
Right. And for Kun Manop, do you see any product of Kakao Bank or V Bank that you think is quite new for Thai market and could be the good option for Thais too?
Yes. The underlying products would be more or less traditional banking products. But then the feature, the add-on feature that would make the difference. For example, in the Kakao Bank's case, they have built in lots of gamification in their product features, or the level of personalization that allow the customer to pick and choose the features that most suitable to their behavior or their spending patterns. So I think these are the things that we would look to adopt and then make these products a new alternatives to our customer base. And after all, we will make it appeal and easy for the underbanked populations.
Any product from asset money or ant group that you see quite relevant to Thai market?
I think the thing that we know from ant is just not like the off-the-shelf product that we bring from the ant, but I think that what we learn, right? So we learn that how to operate and work closely in terms of offer the service that we can leverage from the ant platform. For example, that we have for the True Money that we can use the True Money. When you go to China, you can use True Money to spend in China rather than you need to install another application. That is the thing that I don't think that is like a bring the product on the shelf and to apply. But I think what we can do, we can leverage our partnership that to make the product is fit to the customer and make the customer is easier.
Okay, and now we move to another quite important topic, which is about compliance. The Bank of Thailand requires the virtual bank to operate independently from existing systems, and there are restrict some external channels in some way. So how you stay compliant while still be able to leverage on your partner strength? That's for you first, Kun Manop.
Yes. We, as a financial institution in Thailand, and we have been operating in Thailand for a long time, we are very committed to being fully compliant with the Bank of Thailand's regulations. So the new virtual bank will not look to leverage the infrastructure or the ecosystem that SCB Bank has already has in the past. In order to do that, we will have, of course, independent core banking system. So we'll build this from scratch and then make sure that it is a totally different platform. We will maintain a separate ecosystem. I think one of the things that we may not have, unlike Kakao Bank or WeBank, where they have already a large ecosystems in the country. We don't have such a large digital ecosystem to leverage. But we believe that wouldn't put us at a much disadvantage versus the other competitors. We will maintain a neutral platform to connect with various ecosystems, very much on a easy plug and play model that will allow us to build our own ecosystems and without leveraging the bank's ecosystem. So with the right products, I believe that the right and very different products, I believe the new virtual bank of SCBX will be able to compete in this new market.
Thank you ค่ะ and คุณอธินันท์คะ how will you balance the same requirement independence while still able to maximize the advantage of your group's digital and retail networks?
I think we fully rely on the Bank of Thailand to do work independently on terms of the system that independently from the existing core system. That's we setting up our infrastructure separately from the existing infrastructure. We have like fully compliant. We have the cyber security, or we also operate in the full autonomy that's separate from the existing company, right? So that's the thing that we do. But however, the independent, it doesn't mean isolation. So what we do, right? So we all can work together or leverage our network to offer the best or better service to the customer. We can share the expertise from the Trumani or our partner to know the insight of the customer, and we can get the customer data based on customer consent. That too, we can know and understand customer and offer the product that fit to the demand of them. That is the thing that how we operate.
Right. I think we touch upon strategy, technologies, and compliance. So maybe let's turn a bit to the financial perspective of the virtual bank. Okay. And as we have seen from many countries that the virtual bank require quite a heavy upfront investment and a long runway before profitable. So may I ask you first, because you are CFO, so how you plan to balance the pressure on early returns and the need to build scale and customer trust?
First, the strategy will have to be based on the right cost structure. I think the reason why incumbent banks have a high cost structure because they have legacy issues. They have legacy systems that they have to deal with, and they are not easy to be dealt with. But being able to start the new business and learn and draw experience from the successful players from around the region, I believe that we should be able to strike a good balance between the investment that we have to make vis-a-vis the long-term return. So in any case, it cannot be more than the capital commitment that we are committed to. So 5 billion baht at the beginning, going up to 10 billion baht capital contribution. SCBX has the experience to build new business outside of the banking business. And we also know how to scale up the business with the right timing. So I think this is something that we will look to balance investment vis-a-vis the long-term growth. At the end of the day, the return that we expect from the virtual bank business will have to be significantly higher than what we are earning from the traditional bank.
Okay, and maybe can I ask you a follow-up? What key milestone will you use to measure the financial success in the early years for the virtual bank?
In the early years?
Yeah.
Well, of course, we set the milestone both short terms and long term. Eventually, we want to make sure that the virtual bank will be on the path to high double-digit ROEs. In the short terms, maybe direct financial measures may not be appropriate measures at the beginning, but of course we will look at customer traction, customer engagement, and the way we launch our products to meet customers' demand. So the first, at the beginning, it will be more on the customer engagement kind of criteria. that will lead to long-term financial returns.
Thank you, Ka. And turning to ACM, given your digital-first platform and fintech DNA, how is ACM thinking about building sustainable value for the customers and also the business over time?
I think for the partnership, right? So that I think the partnership. I think the partnership is the key driver to make the virtual bank success and offer the best service to the customer. I think the way that we select a partnership, that we look at the goal, that we need to share the same goal, that we can work together, right? So, for example, that to offer the loan to the customer, that we work with the retail merchant or anything, right? So we get the data from the merchant or the retail based on the customer consent, that to offer them the credit, to build them to have the credit line to spend, right? So that's the thing that we do. And what way do we do? We not just like to offer the large loan amount to the customer to maximize the profits. What do you think? We would like to ensure that customer have ability to repay and can manage well. That's the thing that we do. We would like to lend responsibly. It's not just like to maximize our revenue. That's the way that we do. So when we come up with a partnership or the one that can join us, I think that is very important that we share the same goal, that we can bring the best service to the customer.
And what kinds of partnership that are you looking for? I mean, to make your success the goal.
I think the partnership, right? I think what we expect is like a partnership that can come to fulfill our strategy and our goal and our vision that if we think about. So the partnership that what we target, right? We would like to offer and serve the product for the underserved segment. So I think that the partnership that can help us to move us forward and bring that strength that can work together. That is the thing that we as a criteria.
Right. I think we touched a bit on the deposit competition that may happen with the virtual bank. Okay. My question is about what would be the impact that you expect the virtual bank to have on overall industry, apart from just the deposit competition. I mean, maybe the financial stability or the lending competition or new fee products. Maybe start with you, Khun Manop.
There will be some competition for sure, but given the amount of capital, maximum 10 billion baht for each bank, we are talking about 30 billion baht. So let's say if we leverage up to 8 times, 7 to 8 times, then it would still be around less than 250 billion baht. So compared with the overall Thai banking landscape, we are talking about 18, 19 trillion Thai baht of the loan asset. So I think I don't see this as a major competition that will shake the market landscape for the country. So it comes down to how you make your deposit products much more attractive or much more interesting in such a way that the cost will not be too prohibitive to compete in this new market segment.
Right. And I think I discussed with you before that you actually see a room to grow deposit because right now, True Money or Asset Nano funded by the bonds, right? So what kinds of deposit that are you going to pull from the system? And is there any feature that you would like to add on that deposit?
Okay. The thing again, right? So I think the not just us, right? I think the three of us for the virtual bank player that come to fulfill the system for especially for the underserved segment that we can offer to the customer. The thing that we offer is just not like the credit product. We go beyond that. It's like a deposit that you just mentioned, right? The deposit that I think we can decide, right? So we can decide the product that fit to the customer. It's just not like about the interest rate. We can offer the product that help the customer to set the goal to their target or make some gamification that we why we are quite familiar with, and we know the customer behavior, how we design a product that truly fit to them and make them very easy to save or to deposit the money and help them go and grow it with them together. That is the thing that we can bring. Another thing is about the ecosystem, right? Because we reach to the customer over the 30 million users that they use our app every day, right? So that's the thing that we can do. We can embed that the journey for them to deposit more, to invest more, or to buy the protection that is good for them to their journey. Don't need to like a customer feel like it's very burden. It feels that difficult to save or invest, but we make it very easy, simple, and accessible for the customer. I think that's the one that we can bring into the table.
Thank you, Ka. Well, I think one of the reasons why the Bank of Thailand would like to have this virtual bank is to improve financial inclusions. And given we now have quite high household debt, do you think a virtual bank will help to not solve the problem, but maybe escalate the household debt level for Thailand? Because maybe people can access to more proper debts, right? Yeah. Any thought on that? Maybe I start with you, Khun Manop.
No, virtual banks will help address the financial inclusion problem in Thailand. They will not escalate the level of high household debt because the household debts in Thailand are already quite high. But there is still large informal lending segment in Thailand. And it is this segment that we believe that when we have new players, virtual banks will address to bring people from the informal segment into the formal segment. I think this is the very, very important
Right.
Issues that we want to address.
And same question to you, Ka.
I totally agree with Khun Manop, right? So virtual bank is not come to increase the household debt. But what we do, right? For example, that I will give you a example. Our portfolio, right? Over 50% never get the loan approved, or ever they never apply the loan or got the reject from the bank. How they do? They go to the informal market, go to the loan shark. That is already be there. What the thing that we do, right? We use the data or they use our expertise to lend them. The question is not about the, hey, lend it more, but how we lend and what they use the money for. If we lend them like with the responsibility that offer the credit line that not too much and help them to manage well, and they can use the loan or the credit line to run their business, rather than they just go to the loan shark, which is not recorded in the system. But what we do, we bring them into the formal market. So when we bring them to the formal market, right, so we can traceable and trackable, so that is maybe is a better and help the real inclusion to the system.
Maybe that's one point that I want to add. While I say that virtual banks will not escalate or worsen the high household debt issues in Thailand, virtual banks will not help easing this issue as well. It may help if the Bank of Thailand allows virtual banks to do real risk-based pricing, which is something that I think we need more clarity from the regulator to address the high household debt issue in the country. A lot of measures have been announced to address the debt issues, but which is not the right way to solve these issues. I think we need to address or to solve the income issues for the low income population, which is a large population in the country. But that's not easy to be done because that will require fiscal policies, more cohesive government policies to stimulate income or to lift income for the low income, the grassroots population in Thailand.
Thank you, Ka. I think we actually cover, all the prospect of the virtual bank. Maybe I want to close with this final question to both of you. If we were to meet again 5 years from now, what would you like your virtual bank to be best known for? So let me start with you, ค่ะ คุณ Manop.
5 years is a long time to think about right now. Right now we merely look at how economy will do in the next few quarters or next year at best. But in any case, I believe that SCBX Virtual Bank will offer something very new to the market. Customers will feel overwhelmed with our new offerings. The mandate that we give to the team that are building the bank right now or setting up the bank right now is to make sure that it will create customers' delight. I think that's the word that we are using internally. So we just want to make sure that it will be just a new experience and people will recognize this new bank as the most preferred virtual banking platform in the country.
And the same question to you, ค่ะ คุณ Ithinan.
Okay. If we meet again 5 years, I think that the thing that we expect, right? So I think that we would like to customer and recognize us as the bank that give them the opportunity. Is not give them the feature or the another product provider. If you are customer and they look back that, hey, we are the first bank that giving them the opportunity, the first bank that believe and trust in them and have the real chance to got the credit product for the first time. And that's a thing that I think that we would like to see is our legacy. We don't want a customer just remember us just like the bank that give the best feature that we offer to the customer. But we would like to customer think that the virtual bank is the thing that giving them the opportunity that they can stay and grow together.
Right. Okay. Thank you both for sharing your perspective. We have heard two distinct strategy, but with the same common goal to innovate, to expand access, and also build trust in the new digital era, while also navigating regulatory challenge at the same time. The coming years will be a defining chapter for our industry, and I believe that these consortium play a central role. So please join me in giving them a warm round of applause. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you very much for an insightful session.